This is going to be part 3 of the engine build video. It's currently snowing at my house right now, so I'm holed up in the garage with the heater going. Probably see my breath here. But this is going to be round 2 of me putting the pistons and rods in this thing. Probably cut some footage in of my fuck up last time. I definitely made a huge mistake and over torqued the rods by quite a bit and ended up snapping one of the bolts. Definitely feel the bolts stretching when you do this. It's kind of crazy. Jeez. Well, we're gonna see if this thing breaks. There it goes. Cool. Okay, well, that's no good. Fuck. But we're all set. The ring gap's good, so I just took the rings off, got new rod bolts, threw them in, new bearings. We're gonna assemble this guy real quick. I'm gonna start off by just getting a paper towel and cleaning off the journals of the crankshaft. I'm going to start off with number 1 and 4, just because they're the easier ones to get to. Here's cylinder number 1, piston and rod number 1. Sorry. Get this guy opened up, cleaned off a little bit. Start off by throwing the oil rings on, tangled up. Start off with the wiggly one, for lack of a better word. Then I'm gonna put one of the guide rails and then the other on. I know that a lot of the time these are marked. These Hastings ones are not marked. Looked all over for the mark. There is no mark. Just work this guy around. Put this one on the bottom. Then I'm going to grab the second ring, which is definitely marked. This is the second compression ring. Put this guy on, making sure to clock the gap away from the oil ring gap. And then on top of that, just double check, put the first compression ring. Forgot to warm up my assembly lube, but I think there should be warm enough that I can get a little bit on there. There we go. Oh man, this stuff's cold. Oh, greasy. Put this guy down right here, get it warmed up. One more double check. Tap, tap, tap. I'm gonna give it a good whack with the wooden end of the hammer to drive it down in there. Just like that. Bam, she's in. Now that it's all seated, I'm gonna throw some assembly lube on the cap side and torque these guys down. We're gonna torque them to 26 foot-pounds, not 50. We're gonna back it off and torque it 3 times though, just to make sure that we get the right amount of stretch on the bolt. Thread this guy on. I'm just going to grab a regular 3/8 short ratchet and get these guys snugged down. These are just 1/2 inch head ARP bolts. They're the 8mm, just standard replacement, a little bit higher grade bolts. Whole reason I had the issue with the snapping of the rod bolt last time is because I torqued the bolts to the wrong spec. I torqued them to the spec for the 9mm set, which is 50 foot-pounds. We're not going to make that mistake again, though. This one's going to be 26 foot-pounds as per the instruction manual. One, two. Very nice. Give this thing a quick test spin. See how she's feeling. Like butter. Very nice. Alright, I'm going to do cylinders 2 and 3 now. Only difference between these two and cylinders 1 and 4 is that I just position the crank like this so I can actually reach the connecting rod bolts once everything's lined up. Alright, here it is with all 4 pistons installed. Didn't mess anything up this time. But yeah, spins over smoothly, no hanging up or anything like that. Feels pretty good. In this video, I'm going to be installing the windage tray, oil pan, and oil pickup, and sealing the bottom end up. Here's how she sits currently. Don't mind the garbage can. We just got all 4 rods and pistons inside. We have an aftermarket crank girdle. This is a V18A1 block, so they did not come factory with this. I used OEM GSR main studs. These are stock rods, 1/2 mil over pistons, ARP rod bolts. What we got going on today is GSR windage tray, the part number, GSR oil pickup, and a Moroso baffled oil pan. This is just the street version. Wasn't going to go super crazy. I have a Fel-Pro perma-dry oil pan gasket. These things are spendy, definitely worth it. This cost me about $45, but they were actually developed in conjunction with Speed Factory Racing to prevent the oil pan from leaking, because you know that it's a notorious thing on these Honda engines. As long as you torque everything correctly, you should have no problems with this guy, and you have to use significantly less sealant on the engine block. I'm going to start off by just getting everything cleaned off and test fitting all the parts just to make sure everything is correct. Here is the windage tray and the oil pickup tube fitted to the block. Everything looks like it fits up well, so I'm going to grab some bolts and bolt it down. Torque spec is 8 foot-pounds or 96 inch-pounds for all of these bolts. Make absolutely sure you get a new oil pump pickup gasket. If you know me outside of YouTube, I've had an engine failure in the past due to failure to replace this gasket, so please, please, please replace this every time you take the oil pickup tube off. Here's the oil windage tray and pickup tube installed on the engine, all torqued down and everything. Next step, I'm going to install the oil pan and the gasket after I find all the bolts first. This gasket comes with RTV, and all you got to do really, just put RTV here, 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 and here on the engine, and then torque the oil pan down as normal, and you shouldn't have any leaks. Alright, here she is. Oil pan's all torqued down. And I think that's going to be everything for this install. I think I'm just going to include this in the third part video of putting the lower end of this thing together. But yeah, thank you for watching. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely appreciate you guys watching these videos. Definitely gives me motivation to keep putting them out.